Hi maker friends, in this video I want to show you two different ways that I like to add a contrasting color bobble to my astronaut. I have one leg finished here. We'll get back to that for the second version of the bobble, but for now we will start with how it's worked in the pattern. So we're working a leg, so we're going to crochet or chain. It calls for 9, so we're going to start by chaining 8 with our main color. Then grab your boot color or whatever contrast color you want and pull through another loop. So now technically you have 9 there. And we're going to begin working in the second chain from the hook, and I like to grab my tail from my leg and crochet over that just so it's in a good placement when I finish off this bobble. Go ahead and work your bobble in that, all in that same chain. We're going to essentially start 4 double crochets and then we're going to make sure you have 5 loops on your hook here. Now we're going to drop our contrast color and pick up the leg or the body color and finish that bobble off with our body color. That way we're ready to go ahead and slip stitch back down the leg in that color. So it's only the foot that stays that contrast color. We will slip stitch back down the leg. You can go in the back bumps if you want. It's a little fiddly, so for the sake of keeping this video brief, I'm just slip stitching like normal. And now that we're back to the body, I'll show you how I secure these ends. So you can cut, or if you're a savage, you can break your yarn. But we're gonna have the 2 ends here that we need to secure. So first, pull both of them really tight just to clamp down those stitches and get them in place. Then we will grab a tapestry needle and pull those ends together. So I usually will take one of the ends, bring it out where the other one is so that I can knot them together, making sure everything stays where it's supposed to be. And then we will pull both of those tails back through the bobble. And you can weave them in through a few times, or I'm just pulling them through once here. But once you feel like they're nice and tucked in, snip off those ends. Pull off the fuzzies, because there's always fuzzies when you're working with plush yarn. And now we can go ahead and finish up the rest of the body. I will show you the second version once I finish this off. So we're gonna single crochet around, and then we end up actually going past our end of the previous round just so we can get into a good placement over here by the leg. So single slip stitch in the last one and fasten off. We'll leave a nice long tail so we can close the body. And now we will go through the second way to add a contrast bobble. So on this first leg I have here, I chained like normal, and instead of working a bobble in the second stitch from the hook or the chain from the hook, I just slip stitched in that one and the remaining chains down to the body and left it without a bobble. Now we can go back through and attach your contrast color yarn after the fact. To do that, we'll just pull through a loop and then chain 1 to lock it into place. And now we can work that bobble there at the end of the leg just like it is written in the pattern, going through and doing 4 partial double crochets. And then this time, instead of pulling through with our contrast color, we don't have to do that. We can just pull it through like normal. So pulling through all 5. I have a tiny little string here. Let's see if we can do it. And then to secure it down, we're going to slip stitch back into that same end stitch and maybe be able to just squeak it out here and then secure it off with one more slip stitch and tighten down. We're gonna pull the ends just like we did before, get them nice and tight, and hopefully you are already next to your other string. If not, you can pull it through with your tapestry needle, knot them together, and then we will pull them through the bobble just like we did before. And you can use your tails if you have any like wonky color placement that you don't like, or you need to cover up a string. You can use your tails to do that at this point too. But go ahead and pull your tails through your bobble and then snip those babies off. Now that is all I was planning on showing you, but since I have you here, I figured I would just go through real quick my finishing details that I like to add with the chest buttons and the eye shine, and maybe show you also how I close up the body. So here is fast forward version of all the finishing touches. I don't think I like that positioning. Let's try it up top. There it is. I like that one better. Now we are going to whip stitch our astronaut closed. So you're going to fold your astronaut flat, and we're going to work in the outside loops of both sides and just make one stitch straight across to the stitch on the other side of the body. Always starting on the same side and working towards the opposite side each time. Do this all the way across, and then I like to secure my tails with a knot. So I take my needle around a stitch and then pull my tail through that loop that I created. Weave your tail into the body, cut or break your yarn, and you are done. I hope you really enjoy this pattern and have lots of fun making these guys. If you would like the full pattern, you can check out below for the link to the PDF. Oh, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Happy crocheting, friends!